All right, let's go over this. You have cultivated out that premium Mount Gin, which is one thing you're supposed to do. There's still a lot of work to be done, but you're moving in the right direction. You're doing things you're supposed to be doing. You've cultivated out that premium Siege Gin, which you're doing things you're supposed to be doing. You've cultivated out that premium Range Gin. That's something you're supposed to do. And you've cultivated out that brand new premium Ground Gin. Good job. Okay. You're doing things that you need to do. All right. We're not going to harp on any of the attacks. Let's just go ahead and... Okay. All right. So here's what they're picking on. 510.7 million power lost versus 310 million power lost. They beat you by 200 million power. They marched about 10 million troops against you. Okay, here's one of the things they're picking on right here. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and do that and mark this up. They're picking on this. Those numbers are not as high as they need to be. Those numbers are lower than some of our key PvP players. Okay. But now, the key numbers here to show the work we have done, the work we've done right. This is what we've been working on, and this is what we've done right. So, we're going to talk about that for a second. See this number here? Okay. Your siege attack debuff is 50% of that. No debuff goes higher than 50% of what the opponent sends. So, you have sufficient debuff for that kind of attack. You don't have this yet. Not yet. Your siege attack and defense are getting toward 2,000, but they're not quite there yet. Okay, we're working on those numbers. We've gotten the siege attack debuff where it needs to go. Okay? So I'm guessing no one picked on you about the siege attack debuff number. I'm guessing no one said anything about that, because that number's high. Okay. So let's look at what they sent. Okay. You do not have a full T15 tier. You do not have but one kind of troop in your T15 tier. That's all you've got. You do not have mount, ground, or siege. And we will build them in that order. Siege, ground, then mount. we're building siege first, then we're building ground, then we're building mount. You don't have a T-15 tier. So, look what happens. Here is where your damage that you took happened. It happened here, and it happened down there at T-14. The damn thing's blocking it, but that red cross in the battlefield means all your siege was wiped out. Okay, but it's T-14. You don't have a T-15 tier. Okay. Now, notice that your T-14 mount killed 2.6 million troops. Okay, your high tier mount is what's going to stop a siege attack. But not before it gets all of your high tier siege. So, yeah, if you got time, you want to try to ghost your high tier siege against something like that. Or you want to jump, but you didn't lose. I mean, you lost slightly less than 50%, which still isn't good, but okay. We want to try to get to where you don't have to ghost those mounted troops. So anything comes at you, they're going to have a hard time knocking a dent in your siege, and the mount's going to kill them. They'll lose points. Like I do when I hit the wrong people with siege. We ain't there yet. We're not building troops with your resources. We're building keep levels. We're building academy levels. You know, we're building Senate. We're building victory columns. We're building things that give you buffs. We're going to have to build your pasture because of the spiritual beast. Okay. Now, see right there, your T-13 siege, they all got wiped. But look what's getting kills. Ground troops are getting kills. Mostly it was your T-14 mount took it, and I'll go ahead and go down here and show you. You got that T1 mounted wall that took out 2.8 million troops as well. Then you got an accumulation of kills. But they took out all of your siege. So the way to give them less points for now is to have less siege in there. But your debuff is sufficient. Your in-city buffs are not. We're building those. Okay. Now, look. You have level 41 wall gens. We do need to get your monarch level up. We're working on it. You got hit with level 45. What? Damn it, where'd it go? You got hit with level 45 and 43 premium siege generals. And judging from the buffs, there's a lot there. And you got hit with level, well, there wasn't no T-15 siege in there, but they've still got, 3 troop tiers coming after you, and you don't have an answer for any of them because you don't have a T-15 troop tier. So let's get back in here. Let's see if it gives it back to me. All right. Probably gonna knock me out of it. Okay. So that's one defense. But they took out your siege. So now it's easier for a range attack to get you. Y'all did a good job there. You handled up, took care of your business. That's a video for Beasley if she wants one. Okay. That wasn't bad right there. That's about a break even. Let's see. Yeah, slightly in your favor, maybe. That wasn't bad. That's a video for Paco if he wants one. Okay. So you took 450 million power from them, thereabouts. Lost 626. So it's 3-2 ratio for your opponent. That's not the worst, but it's still not. I mean, you're racking up those glory of warriors and lucky favors, which are good. Saves you on making specialties for generals, which you do need to do. That isn't bad. Now let's see. Okay. 3,800 range attack buff. And you've got a 1481 range attack debuff. Okay. We need more of this. We're not quite finished with it, but it's as high as it is because of your wall generals. You have 9 sub-cities. You need 11 sub-cities to achieve a 2,000 debuff. And this is nearly a 4,000 buff coming at you. And we've already seen you probably did not heal, so you're not going to have any siege to kill these with. Okay. No siege. If they had come against you with that attack and you had your siege in there, you could have beat it. Okay. All right, level 45 premium gens. They put their marches together pretty well. That many T11s, kind of a bad idea. But, okay. Yeah. So let's go see. We already know your ground is going to do good and do most of your killing. Your mount gets wiped. So if you can ghost your mount against a range attack, you're going to be doing good. But let's go down here to... Okay. Here's the key thing here. They didn't bust through this. They shaved points off of taking your high tier mount out. They could do this because your siege wasn't in there. So they had to selectively pick you apart. They couldn't just zero you. This is a 3,800 range attack buff, something that used to zero you. It doesn't zero you anymore. That's progress. Okay. It's still a 3-to-2 ratio for them. So that's a win for them. You did lose points. It's not something we're going to be able to fix overnight. But we know that what we've done with the lower tiers, that's 3 million troops killed. And not a lot. Those are 1 point apiece, so you're looking at 36-something million points for the opponent. And you killed a bunch of T-13s and T-12s, which is what you want to do. Okay, again, what they're picking on, these numbers right here are not as high as they need to be. Those numbers are progressively getting higher, all of them, brick by brick, piece by piece, as we do little knick-knack things. You're going to see all of those numbers get over 2,000 in time. Now, let's go to the next one before we get to what else they're picking on. There's nothing to pick on here. There's absolutely nothing to pick on here. You lost 337 million power. They lost 616 million power. That's almost 2-to-1 your favor. You won that attack. You won that defense. Again, racking up more lucky favor. Racking up more runestone chests. Let's see. Looks like they hit with siege again. What did they hit you with? Let's see what they hit you with. They hit you with siege again, and you didn't have any siege in there. Maybe they were trying to take out range, which they did somewhat, so they could try to hit you with mount, I guess. So they could lose that. Okay, well, they gave you some points to try to hit. This is still holding up real well. So we built that layer good enough for this, or those layers good enough for this. Okay, this was a loss for them. If you had started jumping at this point, you'd be about break even with them. But there's nothing to pick on here. Maybe they're trying to take out more range troops so that they can send... Hold on, I'm making a video for you. Okay. Okay, this is a little over 700 million. They finally zeroed you. You didn't lose by much. They sent range. Okay. All right. Well, with those buffs and those troops, they could wipe out, yeah, pretty much everything you had left. You didn't have a lot left. Didn't have many layers left. Okay. You didn't get zeroed. Well, that's still standing. Okay. That is still standing. So you didn't get zeroed. 292 million troops survived, but they've hit you how many times now? Okay. All right, I've seen enough. Here's what they're picking on. You have got debuff generals up top. No one else is doing this, and you were told it's doomed to failure. These generals are placeholders for right now because you do not have premium wall generals. You just saw that you stood up to multiple hits from 3,800 buff players that brought in one extra player for a rally. Okay. We've seen what kind of rallies you can and can't take, but you're not getting zeroed in one tap like you were before. Okay. You need 11 subcities to have the debuff to stand up to this stuff. Right now, your in-city buffs is going to come from superior research. You've got a higher military academy and research academy than all but maybe 6 players on the server. We get that finished, you're good. We get your B seals up. We'll get those in-city buffs up to 2,000 with these generals until such time as you get premium wall generals or 11 subcities, in which case you can put that 5-star fully ascended sub-general with full specialties right on your subcity and put another set of Apollo gear on him. You don't lose your debuff. You can put this guy who has full specialties and you can work on his stars. You don't lose your debuff. Then you put, I don't know, at least Marshall and Leo or Isaac Brock or something. When we get enough of those premium defense generals to ascend one of them and put a serious general up there, or until we get 11 subcities where you could put those debuff generals there, we can build buffs in another way. Just, you need that debuff. That debuff is what's protecting you right now. You don't have half the T1s that a lot of other people have, and you're fighting this off, but you are losing on points because we're not even halfway finished with you. You've only got Trivia Hecate as a premium duty general. So let's go and talk about what we're going to do. You have 1,200 stockpile tickets right now, and you have let's see who you've got. Okay. Or who you can get. You don't have him yet. You don't have the buff and debuff he gives you. You don't have her yet. You don't have the buff and debuff that she gives you. You don't have her yet. And you don't have the buff and debuff that she gives you. So there's a lot of big steps that we're about to take with you where the setup that you have will be more effective. But until we are able to get, like, if they drop a new range general this time around, I am waiting with all of these chests to try and strike for it. Okay. So when these events come around, eventually you will get a premium wall general like this. Now look at those buffs. Okay. And look at these specialties. I mean, and where is the other guy? If I can find him. Okay. Now look at those buffs. And look at stuff like this. Okay, you actually may be able to put a siege general you already have on the wall as assist later. But as for right now, you need the debuff, and we're building the other in-city buffs. So no, your defense is not where it needs to be. It's not where we want it. But you don't need to change that wall gen in exchange for what? I mean, what are you going to put up there? Look at... You going to put that up there? I mean, most of that is in-city mounted percent buffs, which don't help your lower tiers hardly at all. And your higher tier mount is still going to get wiped in a range attack, even with all this. Now, there's ground buffs, yeah. That's good. Ground buffs, but I mean, is she going to put you up above 2,000? Where's your debuff going to be? She really sucks as a defense general. She does. That Blood of Ares was better put to use for a sub-city general that right now holds as a place marker on your wall and can go immediately on a sub-city when you can replace him, or this. Look at that. I mean, you gonna put that up there? You know, I mean, would you be better off doing that? It'd put your in-city buffs up, but your debuff is going to go down. And you need the debuff to make the T1 wall work. You're packing 300 million T1s and you're fighting back multiple attacks with it because of the debuff. So, no. They're right that your in-city buffs aren't where they need to be. But I don't think they've given any thought as to what your alternative is supposed to be. And if you listen to him, your T1 wall that you built is going to stop working. So keep doing what I told you to do, and we will fix the parts that they're right. Those parts need to be fixed. We're working on it. So don't worry about nothing. You didn't do too bad. Love you. Mwah. Sexy bitch.